Hey guys, this is Megawares, and this is your third Java tutorial. And in this tutorial, we're going to be making a basic Hello World program and explain some of the stuff in Eclipse to you, how to get a new class file, what a class file is, and what most of the code in the Hello World program means. I'll try and explain it as best I can, but you'll get a better understanding as we move on through the language. So the first thing, we're going to go up to this little button right here. It says New Java Class. Just click that. You want to make sure you're in this right source folder. This is where the file will be stored. I remember in the last tutorial, we looked at the very end, we looked in the files here, and we found Java tutorials, and then we found this source folder, so we want it to be in the source right there. And we'll give it a name. We'll just give this class a name, Hello World. And really, it doesn't matter what the class name is, it's all the same. And then we won't have it put in that in automatic. Oh, we need this one word. There we go. Okay, so now we'll finish and delete all of the stuff out of it so that we don't have anything. Okay. So now this right here, if you go into your files, you can see into your workspace, wherever you put it, and into the source. Now you see we have this file here, and it's helloworld.java. And Java is just the file extension for Java files, and then you run it through something called a compiler, which takes the Java and converts it into a computer language, basically, and then that'll give you a .class file, which will go in, I'm not sure where they put that actually. So what you would do if you weren't using Eclipse is you would go to the command line and you would convert it first to a .class file, and then you'd turn it into, and then you'd run that .class file as a program. So this is our Java file. It's basically, if you just right click it and click edit, or edit with Notepad or whatever, then it'll just bring it up in a regular text editor, but we just use Eclipse to edit it, so don't worry about that. So first thing we're going to say is public class hello world. And you put, basically, most things you put in curly braces in Java, like to group together sections. So like if you're doing an if statement, then you put like the body of it in these little curly braces. So this means, I guess I can explain this as we go along. Public, it means what can use it. So if we did private class, it means basically, actually it won't even let you make a private class of its own. But a public class just means that everything around, all like the other classes in a program, because you make a program of more than one class, if it's a real program, it means all the other classes can see it, it can see basically everything inside of it that's marked with public. Class, a class is just your file. I'll explain a class at the end of the tutorial probably, once I put something in this file. Hello World is just the name that we gave to the class. Okay, now this is what happens. When the Java runtime, the thing that runs the Java program itself, when you hit run, it's going to look through all of your classes or whatever, and it's going to look for a method called main. Now method is, it's a group of commands that you tell the computer to run. So if you had a class that was like kid, then one of the methods might be eat. That would be one of the methods, and then inside the eat method you would say like the steps to eat, like grab a fork, put it in your mouth, whatever. So the way that you do you make a method in Java is if you want to mark its visibility, so public, same kind of thing with the class, because we need this to be public because we need the Java virtual machine to be able to see our main method. Public static, which I will explain later because it's confusing. And then void, this is called a return type, and it's if you have a method and say you want to have a method and it gives you you give the method two numbers, so you give it like one integer and another integer, and then you want to get back the sum of the two, then you would take and you would put the return type as int, and it's basically that's what the method gives back to whatever it is. But void just means it doesn't give anything back, because our main method, there's nothing it needs to give back to the Java virtual machine. Public static void, and then you have to name this method name so that it can find it. Don't worry about these parameters, just put string args, just like that, and then do some curly braces, and now as soon as this Java program runs, it's going to do everything that is in between this little curly brace and this little curly brace. This is what it's going to do. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to, the most basic way to print something out on the screen in Java is system. And remember, Java is case sensitive, so system like that is not the same as this. So if you do a capital wrong, everything won't work, so make sure you have that on all this other stuff I type. And notice how Eclipse highlights some of these keywords, like I said. System dot, and then out dot print, and then do parentheses, semicolon at the end of all the lines, and then you need quotes to print out a string, and then do hello world. That's all you need. So then just go ahead and run that, and the way you run it is you'd save it first of all. So just hit save, it'll save it wherever it's supposed to go. Hit run there. We'll make sure we did everything right, and it'll print out hello world. You'll be like, change this, hello YouTube. And then save it, run. Oh man, this program is going to make tons of money, I can tell right now. Okay, so that's everything for this tutorial. The words like static, and this right there, and this, basically, you'll understand that later. Don't worry about it right now. I guess I can tell you this. You're just calling a method named print in some other class, and you're passing it, like you're giving it a string, which is like words. You're telling it those words, and then that method does all of the little steps that you need in order to print out the message to the screen. So it's kind of cool. And I know that a lot of the stuff you probably got lost in, especially like that last bit there, and maybe some of the stuff about this when I went on annoying rants, but you'll understand it eventually, believe me. And that's basically it for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe.